माननीय जेटली जी, माननीय हमारे राज्य मंत्री दीपक केसरकर जी, श्री हसमुख आडिया जी, जैन साहब, गिरिराज जी, बाकी सब अधिकारी और यहाँ अपना मत व्यक्त करने के लिए उपस्थित मेरे सभी प्रिय उद्योग क्षेत्र से आए हुए मेरे भाई और बहनों, मैं सर्वप्रथम महाराष्ट्र के अर्थमंत्री के नाते महाराष्ट्र में जेटली जी का स्वागत करता हूँ, तहे दिल से शुभकामनाएं देता हूँ और शुभकामना देते हुए मुझे विश्वास है कि माननीय जेटली जी के नेतृत्व में जो बदलाव कर प्रणाली में होने जा रहा है वो जीएसटी में सहजता होगी, सुलभता होगी और सरलता होगी। और इसी दृष्टिकोण से आज आप सभी यहाँ निमंत्रित है। आपके विषय, आपके जो कुछ समस्याएं हैं, अड़चने हैं, वो आप बताने वाले हो। मगर ये बात मैं अभिमान से कह सकता हूँ कि कई वर्षों से वन नेशन वन टैक्स की बात होती रही है, मगर जेटली साहब ने अर्जुन की कहानी सुनी नहीं, तो अर्जुन की तरह एक लक्ष्य रखते हुए जीएसटी के सारे संविधान, कानून, नियमों के इतने गति से आगे बढ़ाया कि मेरा विश्वास है कि 1 जुलाई से जीएसटी आएगा और आएगा ही। और इस दृष्टिकोण से हम ये बात सभी लोग एकत्रित होके ही मुझे लगता है कि जीएसटी को हम आगे बढ़ा सकते हैं। हमने भी कई बैठकें ली। ये बात सही है कि देश की विकास में, देश की उन्नति में महाराष्ट्र का कंट्रीब्यूशन सबसे ज्यादा रहा है। देश के जीडीपी में 15% महाराष्ट्र का कंट्रीब्यूशन रहता है। जब जेटली साहब पिछले अर्थसंकल्प पढ़ते हुए अभिमान से ये कह रहे थे कि हम विश्व में इंडस्ट्री सेक्टर में 9th पोजीशन से 6th पोजीशन में आए, तब ये बात मुझे भी अभिमान की लगी कि 6th पोजीशन में आते समय महाराष्ट्र का जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है वो 20.5%, 20.50% है। यानी हर 5वें हिस्से में एक हिस्सा ये महाराष्ट्र का है। हम जब सर्विस टैक्स की बात करते हैं तो 19.68% ये हमारा है। मैं जेटली साहब को ये बात विशेष रूप से बताना चाहूंगा कि जब हमने सरकार संभाली तब हमारा जो ग्रोथ रेट था वो 5.4% था। 2 वर्ष में मैं महाराष्ट्र की जनता को, व्यापारियों को, उद्योजकों को, किसानों को, कामगारों को धन्यवाद दूंगा कि ये 9.4% हुआ है, जबकि विश्व का एवरेज 2.2 है, अमेरिका 1.5 है, चाइना 6.6 है, जापान 0.5 है। ऐसे समय में महाराष्ट्र ने प्रगति के मार्ग पे आगे जाने की बहुत कोशिश की है। इन्वेस्टमेंट में भी, विश्व में जब इन्वेस्टमेंट की बात आती है तो कई लोग इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए महाराष्ट्र में आते हैं और महाराष्ट्र में हमारे मुख्यमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में हमने ये कोशिश की है। ये करते समय जो विशेष रूप से हमारे सामने चुनौती थी वो थी किसान की संख्या महाराष्ट्र में बढ़ी थी और जब हमने सरकार संभाली तब कृषि क्षेत्र में निगेटिव ग्रोथ था -17.5। 2 वर्ष में ये ग्रोथ प्लस पॉजिटिव 19.3% हुआ। ये अपने आप में रिकॉर्ड है। मीटिंग में बैठा हूँ। एक विशेषता मैंने जीएसटी काउंसिल में देखी कि रामायण में प्रभु राम ने एक बात कही थी कि इंसान का सबसे बड़ा गहना होता है वो संयम। मुझे लगता है कि जीएसटी काउंसिल में जब हम सब फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर बैठते थे तो जो संयम था मैंने जेटली साहब के यहाँ देखा, तो प्रभु राम जी के शब्दों में जो गहना है, सबसे बड़ा गहना, ये माननीय जेटली जी साहब के पास ही है, क्योंकि उन्होंने बड़े संयम से ये जीएसटी काउंसिल में सभी राज्यों के, वो कोई भी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के मंत्री हो, मुझे लगता था कि जैसे सभी नदियां बाद में समुद्र में मिल जाती थी, विचार आपका कोई भी हो, बाद में जेटली जी ने जो लॉजिक दिया उस लॉजिक के साथ जीएसटी आगे बढ़ती थी। आज यहाँ आए हैं और मुझे विशेष रूप से इस बात की खुशी है कि आज रविवार है। हमारे देश के प्रधानमंत्री कहते हैं कि मैं बैठूंगा नहीं और बैठने दूंगा नहीं। माननीय जेटली जी भी रविवार के दिन यहाँ आए हैं। बस मैं मुंबा देवी से यही प्रार्थना करूंगा कि माननीय जेटली जी की सब मनोकामना पूरी हो, देश और तरक्की करे, और तरक्की करते समय महाराष्ट्र का योगदान ना भूलते हुए जेटली साहब जब यहाँ से दिल्ली लौटेंगे तब मुंबई महाराष्ट्र को एक दिशा लेकर जाएंगे विश्वास के साथ मैं अपने प्रस्तावना को समाप्त करता हूँ। धन्यवाद।
Import of cargo and export of cargo. So we have three challenges and I'll straight come to them. The first challenge, now our challenge is that how do we deal with containers? GST, our understanding is that when we are importing, there will be an obligation to pay GST, and thereafter, as and when the container, our suggestion was that earlier we had suggested that it be treated as conveyance and therefore it should be outside the GST regime. But now we understand the law has been as in the same way as it is currently being treated under customs law. So therefore exempt them when they come into the country, and they will go out within the specified time under custom to track it. In case it does not go out for any reason within the specified time, the customs duty is required to be paid. Together with that, we can pay GST. Because of the way the customs in it, so it will become very difficult to compliance. For compliance, and sir, another challenge we see in compliance is also the accepted. Giving the same treatment as customs is not accepted. Our suggestion would be to fix some value so that every major point that we have. Another issue, sir, we have is that so far as the shipping lines are concerned, they use this Indian ports, and there are the agents in India. Shipping line has agents. The obligation for compliance is on the agents. If they, because the agents are a technical issue, we can subsequently discuss with the team as to how it will work, because outside India somebody is paying, the burden is borne into India, and the person with tax credit should not be lost. So these are our key high points. Thank you. The presentation is there, but I'll just run through it very quickly.
You made it pretty fast. The Government of India, particularly the Finance Minister, Honorable Shri Jaitley ji, on the path-breaking initiative on this GST, which will
the issue with majority of the inputs used by the refining sector, namely catalysts, chemicals, all services, they all would suffer GST. So the inputs, all the inputs that have been used in refining sector would have to be reversed to the it is restricted. In the upstream sector, it is restricted to almost 100%, no credit would be available, and in the downstream sector, minimum 70% would not be available. Not 9 crores. I would further explain on the standard taxes in petroleum, petroleum exploration, and unless the ITST, in respect of all goods used in petroleum operations, are exempt, the petroleum exploration bidding are entitled to buy it at the zero rate. So similarly, all goods which are sold to petroleum, either exploration or to refining, could be zero rated, and there will be no loss of revenue at all in this, because
and therefore it is conceivable that as of 30th June, a film would have incurred a significant part of the cost, would have paid a significant part.
Alcohol and breweries, whoever is making the presentation, one point to note is that the constituency
the Constitutional Amendment Bill adds to. So while the output of consumer price, which is very often a multiple tax system, for example, in Maharashtra, 1 rupee increase in cost meant they even slip down into the illicit and unfortunately sometimes evil. It is an not only an environment-friendly move, it is also a bootlegger unfriendly. In the model GST law, section 15(5), subsection 5, for notifying a specific value, but that will need to be acted upon to cover this item too. The alcoholic part of the alcoholic beverage, the alcoholic spirits, it goes by various names. There's neutral alcohol, there is grains mandate, who can sell, who can buy, who can move the goods. There is a representation already present with the CBEC under GST, under the expanded definition. It is currently no service tax is payable. Our request is that the same situation be allowed to continue in the future. The last item is with respect to, by virtue of the nomenclature, today some taxes are being sought to be brought within the ambit of this provision. These are essentially duties and taxes, the ambit of GST. Sir, excluded us from GST. We please do not increase the level of locked input taxes that is available to the sector.
Thank you.
Manya is here. We are not going to go into the detail of every sector, but a little bit of a step back and a slide. I'm sure it's not the only reason. This is one reason that we are introducing GST. Then it has to be, we don't get stuck at a level lower on rates, you know, and procedures. Obviously, those are very important, but this, right? Transportation overall will go down by around 4%, even though the secondary freight will go up, and the primary freight, which is planned to where 25 billion, including cost of inventory, to India. A whole set of things need to be done, right? So what we did is we quickly spoke to a set of people, and again, I'm not going into sector by big companies said that the number of small vendors were in thousands, right? And so therefore, how do we get the small vendors ready? Okay, for GST is a critical component. I'll give some solutions. A lot of logistics companies said that great initiative, but if we are still going to continue with state permits, so can we get rid of border posts? Because there's some thoughts that is going on to say border posts will still remain, was a common issue. Services, are we there saying now do we have to register in 29 states? Maybe it's okay, but is that the really ease of doing business that we are? A lot of people talked about current exemptions and how do you grandfather it. I'm sure you're thinking that through. So we started looking at best practices. Really, Australia is no comparison to India. It's a much smaller country. Okay, but we believe that it was one of the better implementation of GSTs that are happening. Is about what's going to happen in my sector, not just about the rules and regulation, but how the impact of this $25 billion is going to come. So, but that's critical. Malaysia, for example, despite being a 6% rate, only a 6% rate, was a huge, but a lot of it is real, right? So Malaysia did not do its GST implementation right. Backlash due to inflation, and small vendors really struggled to adapt. Our sense is that we should aim for 100% improvement in ease of doing business, and as a part of that, an awareness campaign has to be launched now on a sector by sector and small business basis, right? On protect against inflation, I know this has been discussed. There's a set of anti-profiteering measures. Australia did it well by putting up the current rates, because you will get the revenue by plugging the leakage, right? And the third point, which is not under the finance ministry, is Mr. Gadkari's ministry and in the state government, coastal shipping is quite important. So really, three objectives: $25 billion of savings to the country, ease of doing business by 100.
But more than 50% population is dependent on this. And a special feature is on one side we have high value crops, our presence is seen in Europe, in America, in Australia, through our horticulture produce, floriculture produce. But we are also known for our agrarian crisis. We go by a report of National Crime Record Bureau, the maximum number of suicides in farmers and cultivators took place in Maharashtra, using MSP. But this distorts the market, and our experience in wheat in past has established it. The private sector and market is having high price because of no grains in the market or private trade getting blocked. Union government has done a lot of things in case of allied sector also. This is going to help the farmers in case of distress. It will give them economic security. And one very important thing which Prime Minister has done is launched farm loan expenditure and investment in the farm sector. It talks about only crop loan when we say scale of finance. So this seeds, planting material, fertilizer, plant protection chemicals, farm implements, etc., and number of services. And number of service sector, farm sector also, so and how it influences. Only one point I will dwell upon in the last slide, and that should be insulated, sir, here. Now, so
on this presentation, sir. So first thing, it appears to us that everybody is now worried about the list of exemption and the final tax rate, which will be applicable to a particular industry, be it gems and jewelry, be it fertilizer, be it agriculture, be it chai patti, whatever. So everybody is now worried about the tax rate that will be applicable to them. Now, I'm really surprised about it, because the GST Council has already given the basis of fixation of the tax rates So what we have said is that these are the 4 slabs which are there. We will calculate your existing incidence of tax in terms of VAT as well as excise duty and service tax. And whatever is the nearest to that will be the slab in which it will be fitted. So that kind of a formula is already announced. So there should be no uncertainty about the tax rate. Even while the GST Council will finalize the rates, you should all be prepared to accept that kind of a tax incidence which is closer to what you are suffering now. So that is one point I wanted to make. It appears to us that there is a lot of demand saying that our commodity should be completely exempted, even when they are having a lot of taxes now, but they are saying give us an exemption now, or they are saying keep us in the 5% slab. So everybody wants to take the opportunity of converting GST into an occasion to benefit themselves, which I think should be avoided. We should just not have that greed. In the first phase, we will be more or less continuing all the exemptions which are there in the service tax or in goods. More or less, we'll be continuing the same exemption list because we don't want to unruffle feathers unnecessarily at this stage. We can't open so many fronts. So whatever exemptions are there which are applicable to whatever sector, that will continue. Whatever tax rates are there, the slab will be closer to that. So that should really remove uncertainty in the mind of people. There was a question about grandfathering. Now grandfathering, if you are saying that we were given some incentive in terms of not paying entertainment tax which was given by the state government, obviously the state government can decide to grandfather it by way of reimbursement, not by way of exemption, only for the SGST portion. If we had given you a service tax exemption or excise exemption under the central government, then we would grandfather it under CGST portion also. But whatever the state government has given, the state government is free to grandfather in form of reimbursement, not in form of exemption, and they can reimburse the taxes to you. But that is for the state government to decide. So that's something. As far as anti-profiteering provision is concerned, a lot of discussion here, and I think it's very useful. In fact, I myself gone to Malaysia to study the implementation flows in Malaysian GST. And we did find that they have really messed up with their anti-profiteering provision. So here the GST Council has decided to put a omnibus clause in the GST law, which says that if the need be, the Commission can assign the work of keeping a watch on the prices to either an existing mechanism which is there in the country, or it can create a new mechanism of its own also. We can also decide to have new tribunals or commission or whatever form we want to do it. But please understand one thing, that unlike GST in other countries, where they moved from a single point tax to a value-added tax of GST, we already have a value-added tax both in central government as well as in state government. We have a value-added tax mechanism in excise, we call it MODVAT. So there is a value chain and there is a input tax credit availability in excise, and separately it is also available in VAT. In VAT also we have a mechanism of input tax credit availability. All we are doing in GST is combining these two. So there are two separate value addition chains in which input tax credit is available. We are only trying to combine the two, as a result of which the cascading effect of excise duty on VAT will vanish. So that means the prices should come down, it should not go up. And our industry and business, they are used to this kind of a VAT chain, they are used to input tax credit. So there is no uncertainty in their mind, input tax credits will come or not. So be that as may be, there will be probably no need for any anti-profiteering mechanism to be set up in India. But still we'll have to keep and watch. So more or less our mechanism would be more in form of a surveillance and based on a complaint in a specific sector, saying that in this sector, this particular monopolistic organization has increased the price in spite of tax incidence not going up, in which case the government may have to intervene. So that's all that I wanted to say. Thank you.
Union Minister of Finance, Defense and Corporate Affairs. He would put his perspective based on the input that is received from all those 8 presentations so far. Sir.
Well, thank you very much, Sudhir bhai and his team for having organized this interaction. Mumbai obviously is the center of a lot of commercial activity, and it is therefore obvious that a large number of trade and industry organizations would want to make a representation. There is always a satisfaction of being heard. Additionally, there is also an advantage that this interaction has, that it flags a certain issues. For example, when the petroleum and the alcohol industry were making a representation, they were not entirely wrong in their assessment, because once the GST system takes over, any product which is outside the GST starts suffering from a natural disadvantage of not getting input credits. There is a difference between the two products that with regard to petroleum, we've made a provision in the Constitution, so we don't have to amend the Constitution again. Once the Council decides, we can bring the petroleum products into the GST. And that will, I think, depend a lot on what the experience of the states in the early years is. If it's an experience where the states feel that their revenue kitty is swelling, and therefore to bring more and more items into this value chain is beneficial, I think it may be easier for both the industry and us to persuade the states to do so. As the Revenue Secretary just now said, that the legislative exercise has been completed after a lot of deliberative exercise. They were put in public domain, industry was heard, states have participated in the drafting, and finally those drafts are ready. Hopefully in the coming week, the Parliament may get an opportunity to consider them. And thereafter, the rates will really have to be fixed. The GST is not going to be a second innings where you get a rehearing, or an appeal where you get a rehearing on the rates. Because, as was just mentioned, neither the states nor the centre are interested in upsetting the apple cart. So your rates will be fixed very close to what you were already paying. In fact, some people had made a criticism which was not adequately an informed criticism, that along with the zero rated items, which something which the last gentleman from Pune who made the representation argued, we have at least 4 more rates. And there was a comment made that, do we have too many rates compared to other countries? Now, one of the obvious reasons was we didn't want to add to the inflation, because somebody who's paying 10 to 13% could easily be fitted into 12%, rather than take him straight to 18%. Because that would have been a burden on the states itself. And that's the reason why we had 2 standard rates instead of 1. And therefore that formulation would be carried out. Some of you obviously have listed your problems of how the exemptions are to be worked out. Now, in the GST regime, there are challenges with regard to that, but I'm sure post 31st, when the officers start working on it, they'll take all these factors into consideration and come out with their formulations. But broadly, the principle that we've agreed so far is that there would be a refund mechanism. That's the broad principle that the Council had agreed. But nonetheless, since some of the presentations have been made, I'm sure the officers of both the state and the central government have taken notes on these points also. And we'll keep your concerns in mind when we decide the particular policy. So thank you very much once again. That's all I had to say. And hopefully it seems to be going on track. So be prepared. Don't be under the impression that as far as the industry is concerned, they should all be ready for it. Because the luxury of time is not available. The outer limit, as I've been saying, is 15 September. But the tentative date which the council has decided is 1st of July. And therefore, even constitutionally, there is no possibility of this spilling over beyond that. Since that's an impossible exercise, inevitably it's going to be there literally within a few months from now. And therefore, the entire industry must be ready with the eventuality, and hopefully it will be a better experience than the present one which we are having. Thank you.
Change is a sign of progress. So, how farmers have a representation? एक second. So much. So they've also. So for this event to happen, let me first start thanking Shri Arun Jaitley ji. I know he is powerful, very busy, and his time is being sought by everybody in the country. But still, he's agreed to come here and listen to the industry, and I'm sure it gives a lot of solace to the industry for certain. So let's give a big round of applause to Shri Arun Jaitley. Shri Sudhir, senior officers put together. So let's give a big round of applause to Shri Sudhir for making this happen. He keeps on working till it happened. It happened this time again. Thank you so much, sir. We also have, would like to thank Shri Deepak Kesarkar, patiently heard and participated. So thank you, sir, for coming. Thanks for your time. Your valuable inputs. In fact, what I picked up is that keep the tax rate the way it was earlier, not much of fluctuation there. This event, and his colleague, Shri Parag Jain, special section. We also have, I met an extremely unassuming person, but I know that he's a great person, LA from this constituency. Thanks for your time on Sunday to come here and participate. Appreciate. Thank you so much. I wanted to thank the team from the finance team. We spent a lot of time.
मार्च तक आपने डेट बढ़ा के दी थी. इस टाइम जो प्रोडक्शन है वो डिसेंबर आणि मग 31 मार्च. आता आम्हाला अजून 3 महिने बाकी. 3 महिने बाकी. 15% पाहिजे. 15% काय? आता किती? 5%. आता 5% सरासरी भाव 200 ते 400 रुपये क्विंटल मिळतो. 15% केलं तर 600 ते 800 रुपये क्विंटल. नहीं पड़ के नहीं पड़ गया. समय देके पड़ गया. हाँ, वो अपन एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं 10 किलो. हाँ, वो ये भी उसका ही है. मंगल पर अन्ना बाटी